Welcome back to Gun Tote Minnesota, and today we're taking a look at the CVLIFE red dot here. This one is packaged really nicely with some high density foam. You're going to get your dry pack in there, some silicone packets as usual. And I'll put the optic aside for just a second to show you something pretty cool. This one comes with two batteries. These are CR2032s, which are definitely the right battery to use for an optic like this. Long battery life and a little more resistant to the elements than some other batteries on the market. And these are going to last you a long time with an optic like this. I'll explain that in a moment. And then underneath, you're going to have, take the foam out, you're going to have a large size cleaning cloth. Your instructions here, those are important, don't lose those. And your tool for adjustment. The optic does come with a nice pair of bikini covers, protect the lenses and the glass. Don't lose that, that's a very useful tool. And this one is actually pretty high quality, a little higher quality than I'm used to. The optic now itself has a few features here we can discuss. This is for attaching to your Picatinny style rail. This mounting style right here with a single slot is going to fit really nicely on Weaver or Picatinny style mounts, top rails for ARs or other types of rifles as well. This is for tensioning and tightening. And on this side you have your windage adjustment, which are technically exposed. They're exposed style turrets, but they do have some protection built in. A little bit of metal is around it and surrounding it. And then you have your elevation right here. That's pretty cool. The elevation is tactile, and it also has some numbers on there. So you can kind of get a reference for how far you're dialing. The direction of change is listed, as well as the unit of measurement, and this says 1 MOA. Now what that means is 1 minute of angle at 100 yards. So for every click that you do, that's going to roughly translate to 1 inch at 100 yards, or half an inch at 50 yards, or quarter inch at 25 yards. That's what a minute of angle is. So 1 MOA per click. Very nice, very tactile, and a huge improvement over red dots of the past. These just giving you some visualizations there so you know not only what direction you're going, but also you have the tactileness, you can hear it and feel it, and you can see those numbers, which are going to give you a little bit of a reference for how far did you go, and maybe how far are you going back the other way. Those numbers right there are going to help a lot of people with just understanding the optic a little better. Moving to this side, this right here is the side you're going to look through, and then this is the exit part. That's going to face your target. On the top, you can actually see there's a solar panel built in. Really neat. That's why I say that these 2032 batteries could potentially last you a long time. It's because there's a solar panel built in. So if the batteries fail, if you forget to change it out and you're in a sunny environment like I am right now, that right there could be a lifesaver. Very cool. Love the technology that I'm seeing from CVLIFE lately. On this side, you have some of your controls for brightness intensity. So there's more bright and there's less bright. This right here underneath is your battery compartment. So you can see it comes empty. You're going to go ahead and grab one of those 2032s and install it into this. And then tighten it up. And you're ready to mount it up and go 0 at the ring. Taking us into the shade for just a moment, now that it's mounted up, you can see this is what the dot itself looks like on the solar setting. So this is what you're going to get passively, and I'm in this shaded spot. I don't have direct access to light, but it's generally ambiently light out in the area I'm in, and it's plenty enough for that solar panel to produce a dot of this quality, which is really great. I'm glad to see that it's so bright and it's got tight lines around it. It's not a cluster. It seems very clear. It's always more clear to my eye than it is to the camera when I'm actually behind it. Zooming in a little bit, looking at that dot, the camera has a hard time. So there you have it. You have a little idea of what that dot intensity looks like. I'll try to move it around so you can get a picture of it. Quite bright on a bright day, definitely daylight bright. Easy to pick out on that top setting I have it on right there. but also the solar setting is very bright by itself. So there's a shot of what the reticle looks like in some peak daylight against foliage, a little bit of the green, some browns, tans. Definitely stands out really nice and clear, and the eye box is big enough to get a decent bezel. All right, discussing some of the modes. Switching on, you can push the positive button or the minus button shortly and it will turn on. Switching off, you can push the plus or the minus for 2 seconds roughly. Brightness settings, by quickly pressing the plus and the minus buttons, you can easily adjust the brightness of the reticle to a higher or lower power and setting. You have in total 10 different levels of brightness that you can use. 8 of those are like daylight bright levels, and then there's 2 night vision compatible levels of brightness available. The night vision cannot be activated when the lighting is strong. If you're in direct sunlight or something like that, even a regular day, those first 2 are just not going to work with it. Also, within 4 minutes of no operation, if you're not doing anything with it, the sight will enter sleep mode, which is a great battery saver and a fantastic mode to have on any red dot. It's going to make the most of every battery you have. Even though it has that solar panel, it's going to make the most of your investment into batteries, which is fantastic. Automatic switch off. The sight will automatically switch off after 4 hours. So you have 4 minutes. If there's no operation, the sight enters a sleep mode. Doesn't turn off completely. It's in a sleep mode. And then the automatic switch off is within 4 hours. Okay, so auto mode, if the lighting is sufficient, the sight is always in auto mode unless you specifically switch it to manual mode. I suggest leaving it in auto mode. While in auto mode, the brightness of the dot is automatically adjusted to match the ambient lighting. Again, there's enough sensors on this modern technology. It knows how bright of an area you're in and looking into. The solar panel is both the power source and also the light sensor controlling the dot brightness. So don't color up your solar panel if you want it to activate and work properly. Don't paint over it, don't put tape over it, don't put your hand over it, and it will work the way it's supposed to because it's working both as a solar panel and as a sensor, and it's saving you a lot of space with this nice compact design, getting a lot of things done in a small package. If this product interests you, head over to Amazon.com and type in CVLIFE, where you're going to find this solar red dot as well as much, much more at a very affordable price point.